Welcome back. I'm Dorian Warren in for Melissa Harris Perry. When NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell addressed the media Friday afternoon in New York, we hadn't heard from him in a while, 10 days. It had been 11 days since video footage of Ray Rice knocking his then-fiancée, Janae Palmer, unconscious in an Atlantic City elevator back in February was published online. That video reignited the controversy around the league's initial punishment of the now former Ravens running back and put a national focus on domestic abuse incidents involving other players. The other stories adding to the NFL's off-field pileup include Vikings running back Adrian Peterson's recent charge of injury to a child after hitting his 4-year-old son with a switch, Panthers defensive end Greg Hardy, who authorities say choked and threatened to kill his girlfriend in May and whose team later deactivated him, 49ers defensive lineman Ray McDonald, who was arrested on domestic violence charges on August 31st, 3 days after Goodell announced new, harsher penalties for domestic violence. Also, Cardinals running back Jonathan Dwyer arrested just this past Wednesday on aggravated assault charges for allegedly headbutting and punching his wife, breaking her nose, and throwing a shoe at his 17-month-old son. Dwyer has also been deactivated. Having come under fire from fans, journalists, and now league and team sponsors alike for his handling of all this, Commissioner Goodell emerged from his media hibernation on Friday apologetically.
Unfortunately, over the past several weeks, we have seen all too much of the NFL doing wrong. That starts with me. We will do whatever it is necessary to ensure that we are thorough in our review process and that our conclusions are reliable. We will get our house in order first.
Goodell announced long-term league partnerships with 2 organizations, a domestic violence hotline and a sexual violence resource center. As far as other changes, the commissioner said that all options were open but one.
Have you considered resigning at any point throughout this?
I have not. I'm focused on doing my job and doing the best of my ability. I understand when people are critical of your performance, but we have a lot of work to do. That's my focus.
Joining me now is Joel Anderson, senior sports writer for BuzzFeed, Amy K. Nelson, contributing editor at Animal New York, and Chester Pitts, former NFL player for the Houston Texans and Seattle Seahawks, and a former player representative with the NFL Players Association. Thank you for joining us this morning. What do you think Roger Goodell was trying to accomplish yesterday, and did he get it done?
Out of the gate, the first thought was he is trying to find a way to calm the storm, calm the waters. There's a lot going on right now, rightfully so. I think we've got to start the conversation right out of the gate and let it be known. There's never a moment in life when it's okay to hit a woman. Never, ever okay. Now, there's going to be a lot of conversations, and I'm going to say things along the way, but I want to make sure everybody knows out of the gate, that's where I come from, that's my stance. But, we have the whole show to really kind of get into it. But, again, with Roger's comments, what he was trying to do is calm the waters, calm the storm. It's really fiery right now. The temperature's very hot right now, and he's just trying to find a way to calm it all down.
Okay, but should he, I want you to listen to this, and then I'll get you to end this. Should he have even bothered at all? Because it just seems like every time he comes out of hibernation,
well, he
just keeps digging, he just keeps digging. So I want you to listen to this. This is him responding to a question from a reporter.
Can you justify not having an African American as part of that group of women that you've hired to look into sexual assault and domestic violence?
Well, that's not true. We have internal experts that have been working on this that are people of color, that are women and men, and they have been involved with this process from the beginning.
Amy, does he have the right people in the room for this?
Thank you for identifying yet not identifying those people of color, Roger. I'm so grateful to this reporter for asking this question, because it was one of the first things that I noticed when they announced this Social Responsibility Committee and these women who are being brought in. Congratulations, Commissioner Goodell. You've actually tried to just more eyewash around this entire issue. And one of the things that upset me so much was not having a black woman as part of a committee that is representing and working with a league that a huge percentage of its players are black, and I'm guessing a huge percentage of their partners are black as well. And the face of this issue and the victim of violence is a black woman, is just another sign that this, or another signal, or just another chapter that the league isn't completely, entirely tone deaf. And any sort of outreach or sort of public display of concern and proactive, things that they're trying to put in place, it really doesn't mean anything, and it carries very little weight.
Yeah, I think most importantly, like listening to the responses of people yesterday, is that people just want Roger Goodell to be better. And like maybe it's not within him to be better in his job, and he's being exposed in a time of crisis. And so they're putting him out front. He really doesn't have a lot to say. That he does appear to have the support of the owners. Yeah. And so all they're really asking him to do is like take these punches for us right now until this goes away.
He had 10 days. He had 10 days to show up to that press conference. And what did he come with? Absolutely nothing of substance.
Let's talk about what got him out of hibernation. And you said people want him to be better. Clearly, sponsors are important here. So my question is, what role did sponsors play? And I want to just read a quote from the Wall Street Journal. On Wednesday, Indra Nooyi, CEO of longtime NFL sponsor PepsiCo, said she is deeply disturbed that the repugnant behavior of some players in the league's mishandling of the cases is casting a cloud over the NFL's integrity. Other companies, sponsors spooked. Many companies have tried to distance themselves from the controversy. Campbell Soup Company, Procter & Gamble, CoverGirl, McDonald's Corporation issue statements condemning domestic violence. Is this all about the money then? Is this what got him to take action?
I mean, you know what?
The NFL is a business.
Right. Right. No, you're right.
But apparently a nonprofit.
These companies are distancing themselves in words only, but they're not taking away any money. And like that's what I mean. That right now, the only company.
So is the threat real then, or is this just public relations for the company?
Well, I mean, they could be putting pressure. I think the way that it works is they're putting pressure on the NFL to act and to look proactive, and maybe part of that is getting rid of Roger Goodell. But right now, like they're just saying, hey, look, we want you guys to clean this up and to look better about it. But they're not. There's not been any money. The only company so far that has taken any action is Crest, and they haven't removed their money.
Well, I think Procter & Gamble pulled out of the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I mean, I was, my initial reaction was like, okay, we're going to see all these statements of saying we condemn, domestic violence, and we think the league really needs to take this seriously, and we're monitoring the situation, right? I mean, we've seen that so many times through sponsors. But, as you saw in the case of Adrian Peterson, Nike suspended its contract with a former NFL MVP. I mean, Radisson, I believe, local sponsorship pulled out the Vikings. So, I mean, there are a few.
So that's real action. That wasn't just.
Well, that's the only thing that's going to make the NFL pay attention.
Well, the players are expendable, though. It's taking money away from the league because, I mean, Adrian Peterson has missed a year before with injury, right? We know that the NFL, the money train is still going to go on whether Adrian Peterson is there or not. I mean, we see that the league can withstand the absence of Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and Adrian Peterson. We're talking about three of the best players and three of the most marketable players in the league. So, it's taking money from the league.
And let's not forget about the lockout as well. I mean,
that's right.
The NFL machine, it's strong, it's pumping, and it's going. It's kind of just, they found a way to create a business model where people love what's going on. They tune in to watch. They care so much. And at the end, can you be at them for creating that business model? Now, on the other side of the coin is when you're a player or when you're an athlete or whatever you have going on and you're an NFL player, you're held to a higher standard. That's just the way it is. Too much whom is given, much is expected. My mama told me that since I was, knee high to her, that's the way it was always going to be. To whom much is given, much is expected. We have to hold ourselves to a higher standard and a higher level of accountability. Now, in the grand scheme of things, you went through a list of players that have done something awful, terrible, and are in hot water at this moment. But if you compared those numbers to the entire population of the United States, or the world for that matter, our numbers as a percentage of the population for knuckleheads and screw-ups is a heck of a lot smaller than it is for the rest of the population. The only difference is we're really great at our job, and a lot of people like to watch what we do when we're playing that game of football.
And you're in the public eye. Okay, so everyone stay with me. We have a lot more to discuss. The league, its players, and the union. That part of the story is next.